Hi, everyone. I'm Spencer McNaughton, and today I am here with six queer folks from the Minneapolis area. Everyone, thank you so much for speaking with me and Uncloseted Media today.
Thank you so
Thanks for
much
Thanks
for
having
so
having
much
us.
for
us.
having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great to be with you. And obviously, we reached out to you all based on the headlines, and a lot of what's playing out at the national level is happening right there in Minneapolis, where you guys live. And I just wanted to start to really get a pulse check. How are you guys feeling right now? I have not been in Minneapolis. For folks who only see what's unfolding on social media or on TV, take us inside what life has been like for you all the past few weeks.
It's incredibly stressful. Like our nervous systems are not set up to, live under like constant threat. Like that's the biggest thing that I think people, are not understanding about what's going on. And I've lived in Minneapolis for 41 years. We had a little dress rehearsal for this about 5 years ago, but it was nothing. There was no there's no precedent for this. It's like water about to come to a boil. Everyone here is stressed out. We're angry. We're scared for our safety, for our neighbors' safety, for our livelihoods. We have no idea when this is going to stop. Oh, and it's like 2 fucking degrees out.
It's hard to go on like normal when this is happening. Part of my, and I'm sure everybody in here's profession is to not even acknowledge it. Pretend that everything's okay while you're at work, while you're going to school, while you're going shopping and everything. And little do you know, down the street, a Somali family is being harassed for no good reason. It brings this feeling of sorrow, especially when it does affect your professional life. When somebody who you've been working with for a long time, all of a sudden, as part of my job, I can't get a hold of them. I work with a lot of people from the Hispanic community, and they're just gone, and you just sit wondering, like, it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
And June, tell me more about that. That actually happened.
So for what it's worth, I sell insurance. I have had clients who have been picked up and I can't get a hold of them. And we don't, I mean, I can't verify what happened to them, but these people I'm able to get a hold of every single day when I need to, to take care of this, that, or the other issue. And now I can't get a hold of them for a week straight. What am I supposed to think?
My day job, I work for a catering company. We have no work at my catering company for the next 2 months because every single event has canceled because of the ICE occupation. And these events are things from corporate events to weddings. And we're all now without a job, essentially. My catering company is maybe 30% white people. And so all of us are checking in with everyone else all the time. One of our folks, also a member of the Hispanic community, has lost 4 family members. They just got kidnapped
Wow.
and they're just gone.
Um, I am a child of a migrant. I am from a mixed heritage. My father is from Guatemala. He's been a citizen since '83. Right now, we're not letting him leave the house. We're running all errands. The stress that you had spoke to earlier, Rachel, like that is definitely like wearing thin on all of us.
I mean, what type of mental health effects is that having on him by not being able to leave the house and also
Oh, it's
probably
hard.
understanding the reasons why he's not leaving the house?
Yeah, there was when I handed him things like I showed him what was in a whistle kit with the red cards. This is an emergency contact card. On the inside, the top part says help me and it's got whoever's holding it, their information. The bottom has their loved one and their lawyer and contact information. And they carry this in one of these red cards that on one side has your constitutional rights and on the other side, it says what you would tell to an immigration agent if they tried to stop you, or you would just put it up to the window in your car or slip it through. You wouldn't actually, so that you don't have to talk to them. Now, what good it does, yeah, I don't exactly know because they're not exactly following the rules. They kind of tell a lot of people, oh, that doesn't matter, we don't care. But with this contact card, you have it on you. You literally hand it to somebody if you feel like you're about to get picked up and say, I need help. Contact this person for me. Trying to explain to my dad why, even though he's a citizen now, I wanted him to have this on him if he's leaving the house. that was hard. And he was a little belligerent at first. I'm just like, look, you've kept me alive for 50 freaking years. It's my turn to do the same for you. And right now, they don't care that you're a citizen. They just see you and they go, yep, we don't want him here. And they're going to take you away. You'll be away from your medicine. You'll be away from us. It will take us how long to figure out where you are? Even if it's like hours, that probably isn't great for somebody that probably shouldn't be wrestled to the ground by young dumb men or women or whoever they are. But it's hard. It's really hard for him, and it's hard for all of us because you don't want to have to talk to your parents like that.
I, just wanted to comment on how I'm feeling in this moment. And I would say that while I am tired, I'm not exhausted. And it's because Black people have always been under occupation. And, I'm so happy that people are coming to the realization that state violence and national violence is something that affects all of us. But I gotta say, my exhaustion probably comes from, the long story posts and the Instagram posts of people being like realizing for the first time that they are also a part of this system, and they realize that they are also subject to be attacked and to be violently murdered in the street, just like Black people. I think that's where my exhaustion might come in. But I will say, because we are used to this, I know that this is not going to be the final moment. I don't want to hold on to this like hopelessness that I feel like a lot of folks who are again just coming into that realization are starting to feel on their own. And so we have to just keep fighting. And as tired as we are, now is the time for us to actually push the system that we want to stop harming our neighbors.
And how do you push a system in this moment? Like, what is the strategy in terms of pushing? Because, it does feel like a moment where change could happen because there's so much attention on it.
There are many, many ways that folks can tap into mutual aid networks, can tap into organizations who have been advocating for immigrant rights and equity in those spaces. If there are holes within our neighborhoods that need to be filled, people need food, people need supplies, and they aren't comfortable leaving their house, there are organizations who are already and have already been doing that work that people can tap in and support. People can become legal observers. There is a lot of things that folks can do. And so this anxiety that I know that we're all feeling and this exhaustion, I would say focus that into some of the work that's already happening.
My kid has only gone to Southside Family School for his entire life. That's where that's where her kid went. Oh. Still goes there, actually. So our kids, first off, they couldn't be in school because the New York Post ran some bullshit article about how our school was some like communist indoctrination training center that like recruited her to join an ICE watch. And then all of a sudden, death threats, bomb threats, people coming into the teachers' houses and knocking on the doors and running away. Bomb threat, they had to bring the dogs in. So my kid didn't even get to go to school for 2 weeks. And now they're back in school in a secret location. Like this is the fucking Taliban that we're hiding from.
Wow. And
I can't even say where my kid goes to school. We're not even supposed to text it.
I'm sorry you have to do that. And and we've all seen those harrowing, headlines and images of children as young as 2, as young as 5 being taken by ICE over the last few weeks. I wanted to ask more broadly, like for the kids you guys know in your life, like what is the impact this is having on children?
A lot of stuff for kids are being canceled. So I know that the Minnesota Orchestra has canceled their Young People's Concert Series for the time being because it's just not safe to go down there. The students that auditioned last spring to be part of the all-state ensembles, all of their concerts have been canceled because it's just not safe.
My partner and I have started doing neighborhood patrols because there's a daycare 2 houses down from ours that's, it caters to our small little, poor community around here and everything like that. And so there's a lot of different folks who go to this daycare. And so every morning from 7:30 till 10, I'm out there, and then from 3 until 5, which is the pickup times. And so we're out there as observers, and there's been some real scary things. And one thing that It was really burned in my head was this dad came up and was chatting with me and thanking me for being there and whatnot. And sorry, um, he said to me that he had to, his daughter came up to him and asked him, Dad, what do I do when the men come and take my friends? And he didn't have an answer. And he was like, I feel like my job as a dad is to be able to answer these questions, and I do not have an answer. And like he was sitting there and we're outside, it's -10, and he's crying and I'm crying, and our tears are freezing to our damn faces. And all I can do is just nod and hug this guy and just be like, yeah, I don't have an answer either, man.
You mentioned the ice patrolling. Tell me about what that is, what you do, and why you're doing it.
We're just looking for suspicious vehicles. So if out of state plates, slew of identical looking SUVs drive by. We're marking it, we're reporting it to the other people in our signal groups and everything like that. And then in the situation, like just the other day, there were 3 black SUVs that drove by, all of them with ICE agents in, full equipment, everything. So we reported all of that. We're monitoring, we're taking pictures, we're marking plates, we're running plates if needed, and just letting every like there's a Hmong market just down the road, and so we let them know. There's a small kind of a strip mall kind of thing that's almost all owned by people of color, and so we call one of them and then they distribute the word and they'll lock their doors if we see anyone. Just things like that.
When you say you report it, like who do you trust right now to report to? Like
My neighbors.
Your neighbors.
We have a signal group. I'm part of several signal groups. I will get called. Someone will tell me and be like, "Hey, we need, a big white guy here right now," and I will show up. And then when I get there, I see things, I take pictures, I send it to that group, and I send it to my group of my immediate block of neighbors. And then so then they all know, and then they'll either go check on the neighbors next door who didn't respond in the group, or will drive to the daycare or whatever is needed to do.
Maybe this is a dumb question, but why do you think they're saying we need a big white guy?
I mean, I'm just as likely to get shot and killed and kidnapped and everything as anybody else at this point, but like if they're trying to push the if they're trying to push the agenda that these types of people are bad people and whatnot, and if in every camera frame that they have, if there's someone who looks just like you, or that bullshit narrative, it's harder for them to sell it if I'm standing there. It's harder for them to sell it. And I hate it. It sucks on so many levels, obviously.
Can people talk about what they're doing to kind of push back?
Yeah, I think for me and my teams at Blackbird Revolt and Black Garnet Books, we have these spaces. And so this is something that we didn't have in 2020. And so being able to activate these spaces, hosting poster making and just community space for folks to come together who do feel similarly and just want to be in space with each other has been like a really amazing. We are also holding a drive where folks can purchase a book for that's either in English, Spanish, or Somali that we're able to deliver to families that don't feel comfortable leaving their homes.
The people here, we don't have any faith in like the politicians, like that, they're gonna do anything meaningful or that they have like any power at all. We don't have any faith that, like, that the police are going to protect us or that the National Guard is going to protect us or that Tim Walz or Jacob Fry or any of them are going to be able to protect us.
Why don't you feel like you have faith in Jacob Fry? I mean, when I see him on TV and he's saying get the hell out, and it seems like he's giving his best effort, but is that a sentiment that is not felt on this call?
It's super fucking easy to say get the fuck out. We're all saying that. But all of us are also in the street. All of us are also helping, donating food, donating time. Where the fuck has he been?
I'm seeing the real people who are standing up for these communities out at the protest. I ain't never once seen that man. And that man just stayed talking shit and never moved and never has any action behind it. Fuck that man. Fuck all of this whole, get the fuck out. Stop. Anybody can say a cuss word, but you actually have the power to pass policy and you're not doing it. So it's not about not having faith. We have a history of seeing them say shit and then not backing that up with action. So it's not about faith.
Yep.
We have a historical record of y'all not doing shit for the people.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask then quickly, like, what do you want him to do? Like, what could he do that would be meaningful right now if he could actually do that's within his power?
If you don't want to start a constitutional crisis by arresting an ICE officer while he's doing the awful things that he's doing, fine, I guess. I would argue differently.
No, that's not fine. That's what they should do. That's what they could do.
Correct.
That's what they could do. They can have some fucking balls and call the commanders into their office and say, look, are you loyal to the Constitution or are you a Nazi that's going to fold?
If these people want to preserve whatever level of normalcy that we know has not existed, as Rachel, Terry, and Alicia have all described, then citations, parking violations, trespassing violations. These people are using their administrative warrants that are not admissible to use to enter people's homes And they aren't getting trespassing citations for that. They aren't getting charged with that. I don't even think the mayor has talked about the fact that they're doing that. And these are all things that are actions that can be done instead of tweeting really hard. I want action. I don't want words. I don't want you to look like a big tough guy and to get all the people on Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever to go, oh, he owned him. I want them gone.
Yeah.
I don't want them here anymore.
He could at the very least talk to us. All he's doing right now is talking to the media, talk to us, show up. You know, like maybe he's doing shit behind closed doors. Okay, fine. But tell us, talk to us, come out, listen, talk, be present.
One thing we did at the clay pit as well is I changed it to appointment only. I did as much research as I could on how to keep ICE from coming into like the public space of my business. And I found that making it by appointment only, the whole space becomes private and they cannot come in. So my door stays locked. I let people in as I see fit, but just as another form of precaution, keeping those doors locked. It's an absolute nightmare.
It literally sounds like it's created a situation where every move you make is nerve-wracking because of what's happening.
Absolutely.
I've heard many people saying that what's unfolding in Minneapolis is a queer story. And I find that interesting. And I'm curious, do you guys agree with that?
I want to push back a lot on the idea that this is a very queer thing that's happening. You know, as a transgender person, I've been a community activist for quite a while, especially in 2022 when the federal government, from my perspective, was failing to protect my trans siblings in states like Florida and Texas. There's a lot of my activism that I do that is directly fueled by my queer identity. My neighbors, my friends, my colleagues, my clients even are being attacked by a force that is an invasion to our city and our state. And it is on me as a human with human emotions and a personal connection to this place to protect my community. And that's got nothing to do with me being gay. The motivation is in this instance, for one of a very rare time in my experience, very disconnected from my queer identity. It's got more to do with protecting Minnesotans. It's got more to do with protecting communities, immigrant communities and communities of color, people who look like me, as we've discussed here, famously just don't even bat an eye at, and it's wrong.
I don't think it's an inherently queer thing, but I think that queer people and Black and brown people are used to having to rely on our community rather than our government and other people to get the things that we need and to get the support and to make things happen. We're used to having to riot and we're used to having to scream and try and get people to listen to us and our stories. And so I think when this started, the first people that really knew what to do and how to do it and how to organize are those people. So I think that it's one part of the story.
One thing we had mentioned earlier is what happened in Minnesota in 2020. Many have compared what's happening now to the George Floyd protests of 2020. How do you guys compare it? How is it different? How is it similar?
The big difference, I mean, we knew who the police were. We kind of know who these people are, but we don't know who these people are. I mean, right. we know that they are some of the same people that were let out of the January 6th stuff because of the pardon. And we know that they're likely a lot of the cops that left the profession because they couldn't beat up on people so freely in Minneapolis anymore with some of the initiatives that have been trying to change the culture of our police forces.
I think for me, I compare it to the longevity of support that's going to be happening. I think that after a year, after the protests, after the uprisings, it went back to business as normal, business as usual. And so I'm also a runner. And so when I'm going to run a short distance, if I know I'm just trying to like get a fast ass time running a mile, I'm going to run at that with like full velocity. And I feel like people who are just getting activated, that's what they're doing. They're running at it at full velocity and then they get exhausted. And it's like, y'all need to run this as if it's going to be like a 50-mile race. You know, I think for me, how I was activated during the uprisings, I'm really leaning on community. I am texting my group of white allies and being like, y'all, I need y'all to pick this up. I need you to help me here. Da da da.
It is unfortunate to me that many people, similar to in 2020 and 2021, will see the immediate aftermath of something and see Derek Chauvin got arrested or whatever it is, and they're done. And that's it. And we made the change, and now we can go back, you know, it's a joke in my community. We can go back to brunch. No, we can't. We're not done. And they think once ICE is out of Minneapolis and the white people stop dying, then they can just go back to sipping their tea. And I'm worried about that. So it's a push and pull, and I really want to remain optimistic. And I know there's a future worth fighting for, but I'm also worried that some people will see the short-term victories and give up.
Trump has said, that Minnesotan protesters are, quote, left-wing agitators. I want to know, maybe as a last question, I want to know how important is protest and what else is getting you through right now?
Well, protest is very important to me, but also understanding like the multitude of ways that you can participate in protest. You don't have to be, out necessarily facing off with people that are on an opposing side. You are doing protest by maybe doing a Zoom concert because your concert got canceled and you're still going to play, or by delivering food for neighbors and other like health and home needs, like laundry detergent. He's a huge one right now that people need, as well as just things like shampoo and soap.
All of the reactions that have happened are really logical. When you think about it from an outside perspective, if you take out like left and right and the political ideologies of it all, people are coming in and abducting people that are here, mostly like not committing crimes. So a lot of people perfectly legal. In any other situation, I think the logical answer would be to fight back, and to step up to your community, and do what you can to, prevent those kidnappings and to prevent that violence from happening.
Protests were so important that it is a First Amendment. And so when we get asked things like, why are we protesting? The country was founded on that. And I don't think that I don't want people to just only relate it to Black people or to trans people. It was something that was laid at the foundation of this country. We do get to say what we want our government to do, and protest is our way of being able to speak out about that. And if you weren't comfortable with that, you shouldn't have ran for president.